The countdown is on. Just 3 races remain in the regular season of the Season 2 of NASMARB. It's the main event of the NASCAR Discord 400 here at DDT International. Ricochet, glad to have you folks here as we really begin that final stretch of the regular season. Drivers and teams trying to pick up victories and also points to get into the playoffs. As you have a look at the groupings, it was a very interesting qualifying session we saw yesterday. Not a ton of speed outside of the top 2 qualifiers, Steve and Electro. That's the way that they're going to line up here. Group 1 is Steve, Streamer, and Mozilla. Good luck to the 66 there. Electro, Earl, and Woodpecker in Group 2. Then Jack Tato, Lemon Drizel, and Confetti. Group 4 is Piper, Quillo, and Winks. Neptune, Sal, and Bloodstorm in Group 5. Spitzer, Murakami, and Oak. A very interesting group number 6. But it begins with Streamer, Steve, and Mozilla. The 32 and the 26 ran 2 of the fastest 3 inside line laps. Let's see what happens here as they're out of turn number 1. Spinning is Streamer. Now Steve's got a problem, and who would believe that? Mozilla, who snuck into the race, just barely made it in, and Mozilla is going to advance out of the group stage. How about that? Look at the replay here, and the 26 got spun, and something happened to Steve there in the middle of turn 2. Couldn't get out of the turn, and now Steve and Streamer, one of them will go home in the first round. How about that? As Mozilla pulls off a huge upset. Now they're going side by side. Contact is made. Steve spins. Now the 26 spins, trying to keep it straight. Enough to get it done. As Steve comes through with some speed there at the end, but it's too little too late. And Steve is eliminated, the number 1 seed, out after the group stage. As Streamer able to survive here hard into the wall there, but was able to keep the tires straight enough. And that means that Steve, after failing to qualify earlier this year, now becomes the first ever number 1 seed to fail to get out of the group stage. The speed has been there for Steve. It's been some trouble in the races, and that continues here as we move on to Group 2 with Electro, Earl, and Woodpecker. A couple of Red Pandas racing drivers, and one of them is going to take the first spot in the next round. That's Earl coming off a victory last week and advancing through the group stage. As Earl makes it through, we'll have a look at the replay here and see what happened. Earl from the middle lane, and the 43 kind of got into the 93 there, causing both of those cars to stall out. But either way, before that happens, Earl was well ahead of those drivers. And now Electro and Woodpecker will go head-to-head after Streamer, the OB Racing teammate of Electro, just survived. It will not happen this time. Woodpecker is through, and Electro knocked out in the group stage. And Electro, the 2 seed, is knocked out. And how about this wild start to this event? Electro just became the first 2 seed in the history of NASMARB to be eliminated in the group stage. Oh, watch out if you're Jack Tato here. The first 2 seeds, Steve and Electro, knocked out in the first round. First time that's ever happened. And DDT International causing drama early. As group number 3 begins, and here's Confetti. Big spin for Confetti, and a pass on the end by Lemon Drizel to advance through. And Red Pandas Racing is a quick 3 for 3. As Confetti had a big lead there, well ahead of everybody else, and just completely lost the back end of the car. Big spin into the wall, and Drizel takes advantage, and now Confetti will go up against Jack Tato, and Jack Tato's got to be sweating it out a little bit as the 3 seed. Confetti in the lead. Big spin happens. Now Jack Tato's just got to finish the lap. They will, and the 3 seed is through as Confetti fails to finish that lap there. It looked like, I was going to say it was a kind of a takeout move there by Jack Tato, but on the replay it looks as though Confetti may have been getting kind of loose to begin with. Either way, Jack Tato will take it. They're going to be the highest remaining seed going into the round of 12 after Steve and Electro are both knocked out. And now we'll get Group 4 with Piper, Quillo, and Winks, as Piper will try to make it 4 for 4 for Red Pandas Racing, who didn't have a great qualifying effort. Quillo has a little trouble, able to straighten it out and finish it off. So the 9 is through. And looking at the replay there, Really no trouble for the 9 except for that part there. Got the back end of the car way loose, but was able to straighten it out. Pretty nice job of driving there by the 9. Now Piper in some danger of missing her first ever group stage. She's upside down. Winks just needs to finish the lap. They will, and Piper is eliminated, and hopefully she's all right, as the 13 of Winks gets a much-needed victory. And Winks is out of the group stage for the second straight race into the final 12, and that breaks a streak after right before last week. It had been 6 weeks in a row since Winks had made it out of the group stage. So the 13 trying to build on some momentum. Piper fails to get out of the group stage here. Now Neptune, Sal, and Bloodstorm will face off. And it is Neptune in the lead. Nobody's got a whole lot of speed. Neptune gaining it down the backstretch and across the line. The only car to finish will advance. That's Neptune. After a rough few weeks following the season opening victory, Neptune trying to build some momentum heading into the playoffs. Got some help there from Sal and Bloodstorm, as neither were able to finish the lap. And now Bloodstorm with an easy victory, as Sal unable to get out. How about that? Bloodstorm, a pretty easy victory there. Sal really struggled there in the group stage on consecutive laps there and will not make it out of the stage. And now we go to the final group. It's Spitzer, Murakami, and Oak. So Misfortune Racing trying to get all 3 of their drivers through. You never know. Murakami trying to do that. Murakami's got the lead. Gets a little bump from behind from Oak. And the 4 is through. Murakami advances, and for the first time, I think, probably all year long, all 3 Misfortune Racing drivers are into the round of 12. Very nice. And got a little help there from Oak, who was unable to make a pass attempt, but instead just banged right into the back bumper. Now Oak goes hard into the 25. Contact made early. Still contact. Oak able to straighten it out, finish it, and advance into the final 12. That was a lot of contact there between the 48 and the 25. As they made a lot of early contact right there. Looks like Spitzer may have actually helped Oak get out of the second turn. Otherwise, that may have been a DNF for both of those drivers on that lap. But either way, it is Oak that survives. And we'll advance through as you look at the matchups for the final 12. Fastest lap in Heat 1, that was Murakami. Fastest lap in Heat 2 was Bloodstorm. Both Misfortune Racing drivers. Those drivers will not face each other if you include Winks in there as well, so they could potentially have 3 of the final 6. As Streamer will take on Winks, the 26 and the 13. Streamer really trying to get back to the dominance that was before. Hard contact here. They're going side by side, and it's Winks that's going to pull it out with a big assist from the 26. Streamer went right into the side. Right here, bang, right into the left front of the 13. Turned it back around and allowed Winks there to get that first victory. As it's best 2 out of 3 here. Now Streamer forced into a spot where they have to win. Winks got to keep it straight. They will. And Winks, back to back. It's a sweep. And into the final 6. How about that? For Winks, it's their first final 6 appearance of the season. Their first since race 5 of last season. That's 9 straight races that Winks had not finished in the top 6, and that streak is broken today here at the NASCAR Discord 400, as Mozilla, the 18 seed, lowest seed in the tournament, takes on Quillo in the 9. Mozilla with a big slide. Quillo just going to keep it going and get across the line for an early 1-0 lead, as Mozilla unable to get out of the second turn there. Number 11 seed Quillo, the number 18 seed Mozilla. We just saw the 15 seed advance through to the next round. Mozilla's going to have to win 2 in a row if they want to make it through. But either way, you're going to have another double-digit seed as they're facing off here. Quillo with the early lead. Gets spun by Mozilla. Got to keep it going around the turn. They do. And we will go to a decisive third matchup as Mozilla pulls it out. Talked about how bad it had been for both Mozilla and Nugget of Coos Motorsports as they were in danger of both not making the race. Mozilla just able to squeeze into this event and making the most of it now. Or at least attempting to. Here we go. Side by side. Oh, wow. What a move by Quillo to keep it going. Wow, that was a tough battle there on that final heat. And it's Quillo that's going to advance into the final 6. Look at this. They are touching the entire time into turn 2. And Quillo kept it straight and advances to the next round. Very impressive. As Earl and Bloodstorm will face off now. Winx will try to be the second of the, or excuse me, Bloodstorm will try to be the second of the Misfortune Racing teams to get in, joining Winx potentially, but first, it's Earl. Last week's winner taking a 1-0 lead. Another double-digit seed matchup here. The 10 seed Earl, Bloodstorm is the 14 seed. The lower digits dominant in the group stage. And Earl with an early advantage. Wow, that's a lot of speed from Earl. Looked like maybe one of the best laps we've seen. And it is going to allow Earl to sweep Bloodstorm away and advance into the final 6. Now, there was no competition there. Earl ran the lap of his life. And last week's winner trying to go back-to-back. As Neptune and Woodpecker will now face off in the final 12 matchup. Again, it's 2 out of 3, 43 on the outside, the 11's on the inside, and it's Neptune with a big spin. Neither car is going to finish the lap. We'll have to re-rack it and go again. As you look right here, big spin, wild down the front stretch there in between turns 1 and 2 for the 11. Let's try it again, and now hard contact right away. The 11 withholds that contact attempt and will take a 1-0 lead. Neptune is the 5 seed. That's the first single-digit seed that we've seen in this round of 12 so far. Woodpecker is the 17 seed. Woodpecker trying to block, and they will block the 11, who was going to get right on by for an easy win, but rather the 43 there with some impressive blocking moves while also spinning all over the course. We'll have to do it again. Couple of times now these drivers have not been able to advance. This time the block is not going to work. And Neptune with a sweep to advance through. Woodpecker wild again. Tried to pull off the crazy block for a second straight heat. Couldn't get it done this time. And Neptune is back in the final 6. First time since race 1 of this season that Neptune has been in the final 6. Of course, that was the season opening victory for Neptune. So like we said, trying to build that momentum, getting toward the playoffs, and looks like a pretty good run today. Here's Jack Tato and Oak now. Jack Tato has been so fast, had that dominant victory as they try to get out in front of Oak, but it's not going to happen. The 48 takes a 1-0 lead, and Jack Tato stuck in the middle of turn 2. The 13 seed Oak trying to get through this matchup. Jack Tato is the highest remaining seed. Remember, both the 1 seed Steve and the 2 seed Electro both failed to advance. And now Oak trying to take a sweep, and oh, some big blocks thrown. Jack Tato off the course. Oak keeps it going and will advance to the next round. That was a violent wreck for the 12. As you'll see it on the replay here. Big spin, and then right there, oh man, that was oh wow. Violent is exactly the word. Wow, that was nasty to watch. Hope that Jack Tato's okay. Oak will celebrate moving on to the next round, and now the 3 and the 4 will face off. Murakami and Lemon Drizel. Drizel's got the lead, bouncing off the walls a little bit, trying to keep it straight, and there goes the 4 at the last moment to make the pass. And Murakami with a 1-0 lead. That's just some good driving there. Kept it straight, kept the speed going, and made the pass on Drizel. So now Lemon Drizel in a must-win mode, trying to get out in front. They do. Murakami putting the pressure on, but Lemon Drizel does what he does. A great driver, maybe the best in the history of the sport, right up there with Streamer, and would not let the 4 get around him. And it will be a final third matchup here. Heat number 3, and it's Drizel out in front. Just got to keep it straight, bouncing off the walls a bit, keeping the speed going though. And that will advance the 3 car. Lemon Drizel through to the next round. Into the final 6 yet again. For the 3 car who has been oh so good this year. Grabbing the final spot in the final 6. Fastest lap on Heat 1 was Quillo. The fastest lap overall was run by Earl, who ran an even 4-second lap. As you see the matchups there, Neptune and Winx, Lemon Drizel and Oak. But first, here is the 11 and the 13, looking for the first spot in the finals. And it's Neptune out in front. Winx trying to make something happen, spins the wheels, and the 11 car is going to win round number 1 here. Between the 5 seed and the 15 seed. And it's 1-0 in favor of Neptune. Winx trying to do the unthinkable, get into the final here after a really disappointing start to the year. Makes a move. Looked like that may have been a spin of the 11, and Winx pulls out in front, evens this thing at 1 apiece. Now remember, this is best 3 out of 5. There's still 2 more wins needed for each of these 2 drivers to try to advance into the final. Winx hasn't been there all year. Neptune hasn't been there since race 1. Neither car's going to finish this lap. We'll have to do it again. I'll tell you what, there have been some big blocks thrown so far today here at the NASCAR Discord 400. And Winx trying to make a move right on the bumper, but the speed of the 11 is going to pull away to take a 2-1 lead. Right there, going into the corner and even out of the corner, the bumper was right up against the back end of the 11. But Neptune had enough speed to just keep the momentum going, and they're 1 win away from getting back to the final. They're out in front, contact is made. Neptune is going to cruise to a victory. A 3-1 win into the final goes to the 11. For the second time this season, Neptune is in the finals, first time since the first race of the year. This is also their second career finals appearance as Neptune tries to make things happen. And now Lemon Drizel versus Oak. Facing off, the 3 and the 48. And Oak trying to make some blocks. Drizel got around, but couldn't get around the turn. So we'll re-rack and go again. That's a big block put on by the 48. And Drizel with a heck of a move to get around the car, but couldn't keep enough speed in the car to get around the turn. Now Drizel tries to make a move. Tries to block. This time it won't work. And Oak takes a 1-0 lead as Drizel again can't get out of turn number 2. 2 tries, 2 failures so far for Lemon Drizel to try to get through the second turn and finish a lap. It's 1-0 Oak. And now Drizel out in front. Oh, look at the pass made by the 48. Drizel's going to have to make another pass. He cannot. And Oak up 2-0. Oh, right there. That's a great move by Oak. And then just kept it going. And looked like just a little bit of gaining at the end. But honestly, they ran pretty close lines there at the back end of that course. Now Lemon Drizel just got to finish this lap to stay alive. And they will. And it's 2-1 as now Oak can't finish the lap. Gets stuck in the middle of turn 2. So here we go. Lemon Drizel trying to keep it going. Trying to force a decisive 5th heat. And Drizel out in front. Oak trying to make a move. Around the corner they go. Oak doesn't have enough speed. Drizel wins that one, and we're tied at 2. Looking for a winner, and we'll get one on this heat. Assuming they finish it, which shouldn't be a guarantee at this point. Been a lot of incomplete heats that we've had to rerun. Now Oak out in front. Drizel trying to make the pass. May have propelled Oak to the victory. They do, as Oak comes across the line backwards and is back into the final 3. The 48 able to do just enough and ends a 6-race drought, failing to get to the finals. This is the first finals appearance since race 7 of last season. But back in the finals is the 48 of Oak. Did a great job to get around the 3 of Drizel, and now the final spot in the final 3 up for grabs. It's Earl, who is last week's winner, taking on Quillo in the 9. Quillo needs this, has struggled this season. Earl spins the wheels, and it'll be a 1-0 lead for the 9. You can see that happen with Winks earlier in this round. They're trying to make up too much speed, too big of a distance, and just lose the back end of the car. Worth a shot, though, because if you just keep running the same line, the chances are not great that you're going to be able to catch that driver you're facing and chase him. As Earl now out in front here, and Earl is going to pull away with a victory to even us up at 1 apiece. The race for the final 3. The final spot on the line. Earl for Red Pandas Racing. And Quillo. And now Quillo gets out in front. Had the advantage from the jump. And a little bit of a struggle there. But again, spinning the wheels and spinning out is Earl. So it's 2-1 Quillo. 1 race away. 1 win away from the finals. As the 9 car, who has struggled at times this season, really needs this. In the race for the playoffs, Earl tries to get the advantage. He does. He's coming out of turn 2, hard into the wall. Here comes the 9, puts the bumper on the 33, but cannot make a pass. And we are tied at 2. You could see right here coming down the backstretch that the 9 had more speed, but just went right into the back bumper of the 33. And now we will race for the final spot in the finals. Quillo out to the lead. Spinning is Earl. All you got to do is finish the lap. It's a little wobbly, but that's going to get it done. And Quillo is into the finals. May not have been the prettiest, but Quillo continues our trend of droughts being broken. First finals appearance for the 9 since race 5 of last season. That's an 8-race drought that is broken here today. So 3 pretty significant droughts are all ended, and now before we get to the finals, we'll have our 4th place consolation match between the 3, the 13, and the 33. Drizel, Earl, and Winks, and it is Winks out to the lead, and Winks is going to pick up a 4th place finish. How about that? As the 2 Red Pandas Racing drivers are unable to get around turn number 2, and a 4th place finish for Winks, best of the season, and that is tied for Winks' career best finish. It's going to take a win at this point in the season for Winks to be able to make the playoffs, but that is certainly a big positive, as now Earl is going to come across backwards and take what will be 5th place, and you can give 6th place now to Drizel. So the 6th through 20th positions are decided. Now the question is the 4th through 20th positions are decided. The question now is how the top 3 will finish, as they will race for a win and potentially a playoff berth, depending on who gets the victory. Neptune, Quillo, and Oak. It's the first of 4 in the NASCAR Discord 400 final. And you can see there, Neptune on the 3 heats ran 2 of the fastest 3 laps. Neptune is also the only single-digit seed still in this event, as the number 5 seed, also the only driver this season with a victory. As Neptune is out in front, here comes Quillo, not able to make up any time there. And Neptune takes a 1-0-0 lead. Big spin on the back end there from the 48, who was already in third place running before that spin happened. That just solidified the inability to finish the lap there. Try it again now. The 9 in the middle could really use the victory. So could the 48. 9 trying to get around, but it's going to be Neptune to take a 2. Oh, maybe not. Yep, there we go. Neptune almost gave it away at the very end, but able to take a 2-0-0 lead. 2 away from their second career victory. And the 9 almost snuck up and took it. Got awfully close there, but couldn't make it happen. 2-0-0. Neptune out in front again. Just got to finish the lap. They will. They're 1 away from a sweep and a second career victory. How about that? Neptune dominant here in the finals. Been a lot of contact, but not a lot of winning from anybody else. And if nobody else wins one, they'll have to have a consolation for who takes second. But you never know. We've seen drivers get out to early leads and then it just all disappears. Let's see what happens here. This time it's Quillo out in front. Quillo is going to be passed by Oak. Oh, a disaster strikes on the backstretch for the 9. Oak is on the board. It's 3-1-0. Wow, almost completely turned it sideways. And that allowed an easy victory and pass there for Oak, who stays alive. Anybody but the 11 will keep this thing going. Now it's Quillo. Quillo again loses it. And here comes Neptune out of nowhere. Like the car was on fire. And Neptune, a multi-time winner, becomes just the 3rd driver in history with multiple wins, joining Streamer and Lemon Drizel. And Neptune joins Lemon Drizel as the 2nd multi-winner this season, after winning the opening race of the year and failing to get into the final 6 after that. It's an impressive last-second win, and even the block attempt, in case there was anything coming back, to take the crown here today. So Neptune is the winner. Oak takes 2nd. That's a season best. So is the 4th place finish for Winks and Murakami's 7th place finish. Pretty good run from those drivers for Misfortune Racing there, as both post their season best victory, or finishes rather. Here are the overall standings now. As you look at Lemon Drizel, a pretty big lead over Piper, who without a victory, she is still 2nd in the standings and 45 points above the cut line. Oak is a big winner, as is Neptune. They both ran up a bunch of positions. You see Oak gained 5 positions, now 3rd in the standings. Earl 4th, Neptune is 5th. Then Streamer, Bloodstorm, Steve, Quillo, Jack Tato, Electro, and Woodpecker. Those are the playoff drivers for now. It's very close at that cut line. As you can see, the drivers locked in are Lemon Drizel, Earl, and Neptune, as well as Jack Tato. But when you get to 11th and 12th, Electro losing a couple of spots today, only 4 points above the cut line. Woodpecker holds a 1-point lead over Spitzer. Not a ton of drama everywhere else, as it gets back to 16 points, the advantage over Confetti, and then Murakami, and so on and so forth. As it looks as though it is probably down to those 3 drivers for 2 spots, but you never know. Winks came all the way up to 4th place. You never know who could have a great day and maybe steal a win and steal a playoff spot with it. We are getting close. Just 2 more races now left in the regular season of Season 2 of NASMARB. We hope to see you then. Until then, though, I'm Ricochet, and you've been watching a presentation of MSPN.